Isn't it crazy that you can't just play a dragon in Dungeons and Dragons? No, I'm not talking Dragonborn. I'm talking just an actual dragon. Well, what if you could though? Remember last year when Jenny and I created this community event and rallied as many creators as possible to make content around a specific monster? Well, that community event is back.
Surprise.
It's Monster Week, and on the second edition of Monster Week, we're doing the big boys, the ones right in the ampersand. Welcome to Monster Week Dragons. You can't have Dungeons & Dragons without dragons, so what else could it be? This entire week, creators have been making dragon content. One playlist per day, and I'm leading Friday, so go look at that. It's in the description. And I'm finally tackling what all dragon lovers want out of this thing. We're gonna make dragons playable. How? Well, you're about to find out in this very special episode of D&D with a Twist, Monster Week Edition. You might know, if you're vaguely familiar with this channel, that I'm not a dragon enjoyer. I've been kinda subtle about this. I don't want to hear more crying about how I hate dragons. You have impossibly cool treasure planet ships and you give these guys dragons? Whatever, I hate dragon. Dragon-free channel, I'm not talking about them. I refuse to talk about dragons, you can't make me. I hate dragons! I've done a lot of content from the perspective of not a dragon enjoyer, and I'm tired. I want to do the opposite for Monster Week. I want to make stuff that dragon lovers will, well, love. No, don't spoil it, it's not time. And after many hours of research in the definitely not furry minds, a through line has emerged.
This is it.
People want to play a dragon. They want that really bad. This is a clear player fantasy. A player fantasy is an idea that a player has in their head of what playing something should feel like. And it's up to game designers to satisfy that play fantasy. If you want to play a really smart guy that gets really good grades and did not peak academically in middle school once classes got actually hard and you had to actually study to get good grades, you play a wizard, the genius magician. That's the class fantasy that the wizard is here to fulfill. But the player fantasy of playing a dragon, turns out that has not been properly addressed in the game, even though it tries. In D&D, there's a concept I like to call XP species. Species that are here so that people can play something similar to a thing they cannot play. You can't play a demon, but you can play a tiefling. You can't play a giant, but you can play a Goliath. You can't play a dragon, but you can't play a dragonborn. But a lot of people are just not satisfied with that. They will never be satisfied. They want more. Enough with the musicals. Some people are okay with playing Dragonborn. Some people have that as their player fantasy. But for some other people, that's the tofu solution. It's a replacement, but not the thing they want. They're just not okay with that. So what do those people want exactly? Yeah, what do they want? I need a dragon enjoyer perspective. Oh, I know. We created this whole Monster Week thing together after all. Human co-conspirator!
Human co-conspirator! Hello, Hat.
Hello, D.
It seems like Monster Week is set to once again spread its wings across YouTube.
Yes, we are poised to ignite the passions of the community for yet another year.
Verily, we have clawed our way into the hearts of the people. We have hoarded a collection of incredible creators, and none shall waste their breath trying...
Yeah, drag on D's, whatever. Look, Jenny, what do dragon people want?
Like, carnally?
No, I know that too well. No, when they say they want to play a dragon, what does that playable dragon species need to have?
Okay, I'll let you know what dragon people want if you come to my Monster Week video and come up with an adventure for one of the dragon NPCs for my video. And then we can put it all in the Monster Week Dragons folio, right?
No, shh, no, don't tell them. It's a surprise for the end.
But this video is coming out on Friday. I told them Monday we were doing this. They know. It's a whole dragon PDF. I already raved about it in my own video. You and I wrote it.
No, don't show them yet. You'll ruin the surprise.
Fine, whatever. Okay, so what do dragon enjoyers want? I'm Jenny D, co-creator of Monster Week, alongside the most beautiful and specialist Hat whomst I and all others love dearly. But more importantly, I am a professional dragon liker. My very first D&D character had a pet dragon, and I was always more of an I wanna hug a dragon girly rather than an I wanna be a dragon girly. Dragon Riders of Pern Gang represent.
What you know about me? What you know about me?
But rest assured, you are in safe hands. I'll make sure the dragon-hating Hat does a good job with these. I've talked with dragon enjoyers, and along with my own expertise in that illustrious field, I've come up with a little list of what a playable species needs to satisfy most of my dragon-liking kin. Keyword most. Most. We can't please everyone. Anyway, let's take a look-see, shall we? In order for a dragon species to satisfy the dragon enjoyers, it needs the following. First, it's gotta be four-legged, or at least not bipedal. This is sort of a starter Pokemon line in the sand. It cannot just be like a guy with a dragon head. We already have that. It's called a scale. I mean a dragonborn. This thing needs to move on all fours. Whether the wings should have little feetsies at the end is sort of up in the air. Scholars remain divided on that front, but they all agree no bipedal. So we are taping the front claws to the ground. In terms of abilities, Breath Weapon is pretty much mandatory. It's integral to the fantasy, and so is flying, although I'm stepping in and putting some conditions on that because if you want to play a dragon, your DM has to agree to let you, and nothing gets a species option banned from a table faster than unlimited flight. Ask all my scrapped variant tiefling characters. May they rest in peace. Also, big. A lot of people mentioned the bigness, which sounds hard for a playable species, but the new Goliaths do it, so. In terms of lore and sort of personality, it has to feel pretty grand, as in this is not an animal. We're not making Game of Thrones dragons here. These are talking, thinking, PhD-having beings. We do not want these guys to feel animal-esque, which aligns with D&D dragon lore, so no problem with that. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, you guys really want this, but are very scared of a dragon species just not working, as in not working with weapons, not working with classes, not working with the game itself. The fact that you are playing a dragon should come up in game, but it shouldn't stop you from playing. Ditto for like going into a city or whatever. Playing a dragon should not be a liability. It should let you pick a D&D class and feel like a D&D character, just less bipedal. Good enough?
Perfect enough. This is exactly what I needed. Thank you, dear Monster Week co-creator.
Great. Don't forget to get to my video soon though, and don't send that human guy you always have around. He just has this sadness about him.
Yeah, he does. Anyway, we have our list of prerequisites. These are what a dragon species needs to actually address the play fantasy of playing a dragon. Got it. That last one makes me sad, like the whole people being scared of not being able to play the game if they choose a dragon. Like yeah, it's a tall order, kinda tough to do it right, it's not easy. But hey, I made a book that has a playable familiar in it. It's kind of my job here to make this happen, so you sit back and relax and let me cook. No, not yet. But how? Well, I have this little concept called Warden Dragons. I've made them on this channel. Let me spoil people really quick on the art that is coming up. Yep, that's coming. Get ready, wait for it. So what is a Warden Dragon? Familiar?
Human familiar.
Wish a dragon would take me away from here as part of its horde. That's surprisingly foreshadowing for later. Warden dragons are dragons that are all about their horde, except they hoard very specific kinds of people and not like have a bank account and a lot of money like the other dragons do. They become stronger the more people they hoard, not the older they get, and they are associated with the D&D classes. So you can have like a wizard dragon and a warlock dragon and anything else, and those abilities, the abilities of the dragon, are like souped up abilities of those classes, and all of them with a draconic twist. Here is where playing a dragon comes in. Warden dragons don't reproduce. Or rather, they reproduce in a very weird way, not like that, you weirdo. When warden dragons are ready to pass on, they select one member of their horde, what is called a prince, a dragon prince, and the warden dragon passes on their draconic essence to that prince. And so this person turns into another warden dragon and the essence passes on. And that's the birds and the bees, or the dragons and the... Listen, he doesn't pay me to come up with puns. He doesn't pay me. That's right, familiar. I don't. Now, I'm so excited to reveal this. What if I told you that the whole concept of Warden Dragons was in service of this very moment? In service of finally fulfilling this play fantasy. The fantasy of playing a dragon. Let me show you how. Warden Dragons do not reproduce. There is a set number of Warden Dragons in any given world. For any other species, this would spell certain doom, as they would die off without the possibility of new life to be created. But this isn't the case for Warden Dragons, because their draconic essence never truly dies. When a Warden Dragon is ready to pass away, they will select a member of the horde they have amassed during their long lifespan and prepare them to receive their essence. This member is often referred to as a prince, as they are to inherit a great gift. The prince will train to receive this draconic essence, and, when ready, the ritual of draconic anointment may begin. A successful ritual ensures the transference of the draconic essence into the body of the prince, transforming said body into that of a juvenile dragon. The prince is not erased in the process, but their body is changed irrevocably. They might have a hazy understanding of their previous life, or no recollection at all, but the personality is the same, even if the body has changed completely. Warden dragons do this because should they fail to pass on their essence and die, said essence would be dispersed in the ether and could take centuries, even millennia, to reform into a body on its own. Warden dragons are the dragons that fear death the most, as they know that even though their essence will come back, it might take them an impossibly long time to do so. But this is also true of the prince turned dragon, for they are never more at risk than at this juvenile stage. This is why the new dragon quickly finds a horde of its own, an adventuring party. These dragon princes will join a party and establish it as their first horde. learn from the members of this party, and in time, develop into the warden dragon they will become. This is how warden dragons gain the experience in wizardry or sorcery or the martial techniques of paladins or rogues. It's by learning from the party, the horde they form as they travel during their infancy and grow into a true warden dragon. Okay, how about that? Warden dragons are tailor-made to allow people that want to play as a dragon to play as a dragon. But the playable dragon species should be written so that you can play any young dragon, not just warden dragons. If you want to play your chromatic, metallic, gem, whatever guys, with this species, you can. I think that's pretty cool. It takes off everything we outline as a must for a dragon species. They have a breath weapon, they can fly even for short periods of time because they're still at that juvenile stage. They're as smart as any other PC, they are 100% not an animal, and the fact that they are extremely long-lived is baked into the species. It's a true dragon. They also have tools to hide their draconic nature, which is very much supported by D&D lore. In 2024, there's plenty of dragons that can do that, and even a mythology too, so it makes sense. And Furbolgs, another playable species, can do this exact same thing, so we have a precedent for abilities like this. But most importantly, they can be big. That's right, this is a species that grows. A big, no pun intended, thing I gathered from interviewing people that are very normal about dragons is that the bigness was a part of the play fantasy, so the Drake can be large. Not all the time, not clothing-wise. I mean, I guess maybe they're a size large, whatever, that's not important. I mean, D&D size large. Large PCs. They can't do this all the time, of course, it would be broken if they could. But this wasn't a thing before, but in the 2024 handbook, Goliaths can do this. So, once again, we have precedent for this. But if you're gonna go Warden Dragon for your own dragon PC, it kind of blows that we only have 3 Warden Dragons on this channel. Like, you need more. If you don't want to go with the baseline chromatic, metallic, whatever, you kind of want more of them, right? Or if you just want to use fun dragons based on the classes. And remember, they look like this now. So these are good to have for your backstory as a player if you need dragons, or if you're playing a playable dragon, or if you're a DM. So far, we've made sorcerer dragons, wizard dragons, and warlock dragons. That's 3 out of 3 spellcasters. We gotta switch it up with some martial energy, right? And since this is here to give DMs and players more tools to put in backstories or games, we kinda want a bad boy, right? Or at least one that can more easily be one, not one that is forced to be one. So how about rogues? Let's make a rogue dragon. While many warden dragons are seen as pillars of their respective communities and welcomed in settlements of mortals, rooker dragons are seldom afforded the same kindness, because rooker dragons make hordes of stolen people. These snake-like draconic thieves gain power from amassing hordes of people that are taken away from their place of origin. It's the act of being taken that makes a mortal a member of the Rooker Dragon's horde. One cannot simply join the ranks of a Rooker Dragon's horde. That person would never be counted towards the horde because that person wasn't stolen away. Thievery itself is what makes someone into a horde mate. Severed from all familial and communal ties, the horde mates in a Rooker Dragon's horde have few choices as to what to do. And most adapt and survive. This is how some legendary thief guilds were formed, as the members of a horde find themselves obligated to turn to a life of crime. And the dragon that lords over them will teach them its uncanny abilities to remain hidden and strike from the darkness, to turn them into the best thieves, assassins, and other of the various unsavory warriors they could become. This puts horde mates in a high-speed path to form a tight-knit found family, away from anyone they have ever known. Forced into a life of crime at the fringes of society and with no one else to turn to, they will turn towards other horde mates and towards the Rooker Dragon itself. This is how horde mates go as far as to steal away other mortals to join the horde as extensions of the dragon itself, strengthening not only the guild's ranks, but the dragon's power. One would assume that this makes all Rooker Dragons exclusively into wretched, evil kidnappers, but this is, perhaps surprisingly, not true for all Rooker Dragons. The only requisite for a mortal to be able to join the horde of a Rooker Dragon is that they must be taken away. But there are people out there that wish to be taken away from their current situation. Outcasts who have never been allowed to even attempt to fit into their communities. Horde mates of other warden dragons who were forced to join that horde against their will and now cannot leave. These are common targets for Rooker Dragons with a straighter moral compass to make part of their horde. Nobles forced into arranged marriages to people they despise are surprisingly common in Rooker hordes. Many of the fairy tales in which a princess is kidnapped by a dragon take their inspiration from actual incidents involving Rooker Dragons. There are tales of ragtag pirate crews, spy dens, and thief guilds, all led by Rooker Dragons that stole all the members of their horde to a better life, and where the feeling of found family is not born out of survival, but out of genuine companionship. Okay, this one might be my favorite, but it has pirates and found family in it, so I'm nothing but predictable. What if you were a prince thief selected by the rogue dragon, the Rooker dragon, to become the next Rooker dragon? What if you don't feel like playing a dragon, but you love the idea of your backstory being a pirate crew led by a dragon that looks like a snake? I think it's fun. Once again, look at the art. And as a DM, this gives you so many adventure ideas. Maybe an important NPC was kidnapped by a Rooker dragon, and the PCs have to go find them. Except turns out that important NPC is much happier now as part of the Horde. What do? Do you steal them back to get the reward for finding them? Or allow them the chance of a new life and go without getting payment? What if it's even more complicated than that? What if this NPC is a princess that needs to go back to their throne and become the queen, or else the kingdom would be in great peril, but she wants nothing more than to become a pirate? Oh, the drama. But this is Monster Week. I'm the creator of this whole thing along with Ginny. I can't stop here. Last year for the Kraken installment of Monster Week, I made an entire adventure. Do you think I'll be done at 2 monsters? Think again. No, 4 Warden Dragons is nice, but not enough. Let's make a 5th one, and let's make it to specifically inspire as many campaigns ideas as possible, and from a class that is often maligned as boring. Stories are born out of conflict, and what is a more obvious conflict than all-out war? Night dragons hoard soldiers, but they also hoard martial techniques. It's often said that night dragons fluctuate between a peaceful state and a state of conflict. During their peaceful state, they practice, learn, and even create new fighting techniques, and teach these techniques to the warriors that have joined their horde. While other Warden Dragons welcome as many mortals as possible into their hordes to grow their power, Night Dragons are quite discerning and will only accept those that display great martial prowess or the right disposition to one day become a great warrior. It's also during this peaceful state that Night Dragons will be most open to allow new members to join the ranks of their hordes, because once a Night Dragon decides to enter its conflict state, there will be little time for conscription, since a Night Dragon's idea of conflict is all-out war. Night Dragons live for battle, and see war as a time to test the techniques their horde and themselves have practiced during the time of peace. This mentality means Night Dragons often find themselves leading the military branch of entire nations, with each and every soldier a member of their horde. Having a Night Dragon can be an incredible asset for the nations that accept these dragons leading their military, as granting this position to one of these dragons means that they have a centuries-old being of immense power concentrating exclusively in the defense of the nation. But there's a catch. Many times, a Night Dragon gains too much influence over the country they serve, and when this happens, the importance of the military grows along with the horde of the dragon. Night Dragons have been known to take control of the country they once served, instating martial law and beginning an expansionist approach to the management of military affairs. A Night Dragon in a sufficiently powerful position can lead a nation to become an empire, growing its military presence constantly, which also means growing the dragon's own power, since the military is the dragon's horde. The dragon then plunges the nation in a state of perpetual conflict, a constant and never-ending war, as war itself is the preferred habitat of the Night Dragon. Warhawk Dragon! I mean, not literally, it looks like a wolf, and you can really see it because look at the illustration. But isn't that cool? It's once again that age-old conflict of where to draw the line with this. There's so many possible adventures to run with these guys, and if you want to do the thing of playing a dragon, what about the second in command to one of these that becomes a prince and is turned into a dragon? So are we done? Is this all theoretical? You should know better by now. For this second installment of Monster Week, Ginny and I are putting out the first official Monster Week Folio. Look at it! Look!
Wow, what a surprise that nobody could have known about until now.
That's right, the Dragon installment of the Monster Week Folio PDF with all the Warden Dragons I have ever made completely revamped. Their stat blocks have been completely changed, including these 2 brand new ones and my playable dragon species and yes, even more, what Ginny has made for her own entry into Monster Week. She has a whole bunch of dragon NPCs you can use, completely illustrated by the way, and revamped pseudo-dragons for pets or familiars, for even more draconic flavor at the table. And yes, this is Pointy Hat, so of course there's 100% free stuff. Who do you think I am? you get the Night Dragon for free. And if it looks interesting, go ahead and check out the whole Monster Week folio. It's literally 10 bucks. Yes, just 10 bucks. We're keeping the price super low and we're making it a PDF so you can grab it right now. No waiting. Because we realize that shipping is insane for anyone not in America. And I'm not an American hat, so I can empathize. So yeah, the folio is available right now. Go grab it. But if you want even more than that, please go check out the playlist. There's so much to look at. There's original songs, there's art, there's breakdowns, there are character builds, there's movie reviews, there's what dragon you are based on what ADHD you have. There are hours upon hours of dragon content, all divided in different playlists. As I said, I'm Mr. Friday, so I'll link that one below, but you can find all of them in the Monster Week channel on the playlist tab. Find your new favorite creator in there. I know I found some real gems last year and this year. Real talk, Monster Week is one of the things that I've ever been most proud of. I cannot believe I made it happen along with Jitty. It's really hard when you're not American to feel part of this community at all, to be honest. And organizing all of this alongside a friend, which, by the way, organizing takes a long time, and seeing so many other creators take this opportunity and make so much cool stuff around it makes me so happy. And go grab the Monster Folio. We worked really hard on it. It is the first time I don't do all the drawings. I designed the Warden Dragons, the look of them, I sketched them out, but I got an actual creature artist to do the final drawing. And I think it shows. They did an incredible job. What monster are we covering next year? Who knows? Literally, who knows? I don't know yet. We don't know. We haven't picked. But if you want to know, stay tuned. All right, time to recuperate. The Monster Week Dragon Folio took everything out of me. Go check out the playlist. There's incredible stuff in there. And once again, thank you. Hope you like Monster Week. Bye. Mwah.